Happy Saturday. Thank you for joining. I am just going to do a sewing. I have a custom costume I have to make. It's not even a costume, a uniform, cheerleading uniform. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on that. If you guys have questions, feel free to ask in the comments. I will look at them momentarily. Of course, I did not plan this live. I just decided to jump on here and start doing it. I'm making a skirt and a shirt. It's a box pleated skirt. If I can find my pedal. Of course, I won't finish it on this live because I am just going to, I'm going to need a cover stitch machine as well. So let me go in here and get all these box pleats on here. So the reason all these are cut is because I'm doing a two-tone. Make sure I have it going the right way. And I'm just going to continue because when I do my pleats, it will literally be like so. Let's do the other one. So when I pleat it, it'll be like so. This part is going to be attached to a yoke. So the pleats will be base stitched. And I'm just going to continue on. I ended up cutting 12 orange and 12 green. Let's make sure the edges are lining up. And make sure not to stretch the fabric so it lays nice and flat. And here I did catch. There we go, some salvage. So I'm making this size 2, 2T, in other words. Let's see. And there's a pretty good, I think it's like an inch or inch and a half seam allowance. Not seam allowance, I'm sorry, but hem for this skirt. So if anything's slightly uneven, cut it straight. So I always come on live to do AMB, but never Tina B. So I own both companies and I work from home. Some of my past videos you've seen that I did Etsy orders for Tina B for Etsy, but this is a custom order. I was torn between doing getting white and doing sublimation and sublimating the design on here, or doing all orange and sublimating the design. But I think what I might end up doing is doing some HTV. Or embroidery, I haven't quite decided. But I think I'm going to do HTV, which is heat transfer vinyl. Really, with this fabric, you can sublimate, you can do HTV or embroidery. Just lining up the edges. If this wasn't meant for cheering, it would be super cute as a little girl's costume, for sure. Which I love cheerleading season. That's what I call it, cheerleading season, because I get to do the cute cheer bows, which I also offer those custom for teams or individuals. Let's see. Now, even though I did 12 and 12 of these, I want to make sure that when I come back around, that I'm not going to be closing off 2 greens or 2 oranges together. Because that would mess up the whole look. So I have a green on this side and a green on this side. I'm going to go ahead and add the last piece, which is orange, which means I did my calculations correctly. Okay, now I'm going to take one in. I'm going to make sure when I do this, I am putting the ends together and not having it twisted. This is really, really long. Super long. All these little tails, I'm not worried about it. So here, I have to play musical machines real quick because I need the other machine to go ahead and base stitch this. Slide this one out the way. So basically, to make the pleats, you turn it the right way so all my seams are inside. This looks like a hot mess. Really doesn't matter where I start. I'm just taking the orange, going over where the other orange meets, and right at the top is where I'm going to pin or tack it. So don't ask me where the pins are. That's one. I'll do the same thing. That's two. And I'm actually wondering if I should just do this as I sew it. Might be easier than putting 1,000 pins in here. I think that's what I'm gonna do. That's how it's gonna look all the way around. Get this other machine set up. And it has white thread. I was going to switch out the thread. I'm not going to worry about it because it is basting. So you're not going to see those base stitch when I'm done. They won't matter. Where's the big thread? Okay. Oops. Sorry, I'm using the tripod on the thing. So all I'm going to do is, since we're basing, we can use a longer stitch length, which I'm just using for it. Really doesn't matter. And I'm going to make sure that my layer, whoa, I did knock you over, sorry. My layer underneath is lined up. And then I'm stitching deliberately towards the top. And okay, so then the next one, tuck it under. Okay. And then from this end to the other. And if I don't catch that, the green pleat underneath, the bottom is really going to be ferocious and uneven. Okay, you just continue this. Looks crazy, I know, but it's going to look like something when I'm done. And if these are too many pleats, you could just do less pleats and then make them adjust the size. Another one. Bring it together. Let's see. And I'm stopping a little bit before I get to the seam, just so the other one can go underneath. And if you need to, like I just did, I raised the foot too, so I can make sure it catches. Like I totally forgot here. That's okay. Pull my needle up, and I'm just going to back it up a little bit. Needle down, and same thing. Tuck it in there, make sure it's nice and flat. If I put 1,000 pins, I wouldn't have to stop every second and do this part. Of course, I never liked pinning, ever. Okay, so that didn't work because, of course, I ran out of thread. Always do. And I'm gonna have white at the top, black at the bottom. It's fine. Again, it's just a basting stitch. So my colors do not matter. But I wouldn't be me if I didn't run out of thread. So here I'm going to back under. Needle in to hold it. And I'm going to take this one to this one. Sure. So there's a yoke that goes to the top of this. And I'm going to serge those together after this step. Let's see. So it's getting, as you can see, it's already getting smaller. And I'm surprised about the amount of fabric that I'm using for this order. For a size 2, it really didn't take that much. Now, if you're doing a larger size and not doing a toddler, it would take quite a bit, even if you were making the skirt longer. I'm going to make a matching pair of orange bottoms to go underneath the skirt. Or are you back to the other edge? Great. Okay. So I have to switch machines again. So that's how it's looking, which I can go through and iron those pleats if need be. I'm going to turn this off so I can move this one out of my way. Musical machines. Okay. So again, the bottom, I'm going to use a cover stitch hem, and it'll be easy to hem that whole edge. But I want to go ahead and put the yoke on. Okay. Which is this part. So I'm going to move the machine over. And back. Which is weird because the front and back is so close together. All right, I'm going to take just about mark my backs. Let me just mark them with a pen. I'm going to take the front and the back and put them together. So I cut 2 fronts and 2 backs on the yoke because I'm going to sandwich the bottom of the skirt, the box pleats, between the layers. Could just sew in silence. Okay, so there is no back and front. I'm not too worried about all that, but what I am going to do is make sure I have, so that's the back. Okay. So I'm going to find the side seams. I'm going to mark those with a pen. the other side seam with that with a pin. And I'm going to turn this one inside out. Sorry guys, I don't have all those fancy camera angles at all. Just using my phone. Reach in here and pin the other side seam. Okay, so I have an outer one, and what I'm going to do is go in. Let me go ahead and do this in quarters. So you're basically going to match up the side seams. You're in here and find quarter because you want this to be as even as possible. So quarters, you're marking the side seam, the front seam, and the back seam. Do the same thing on this end. Hi, Mom. Okay. I'm going to take and I do all these at the same time. This is my back, that's my back. And I'm going to leave this one right side out if I'm doing this correctly and match it to the side seams. So one is going inside, one's going on the outside, and then I'm sandwiching the pleats in between. Same thing over here. Sure, match everything up. Turn, and then also where I pin the front seam, the middle front and the middle back, I'm going to go ahead and do that same thing with these, the one in the middle. Make sure everything matches up. Now I know the dead threads from piecing the fabrics together is probably driving somebody crazy. It's okay because the serger's just going to chop all those off. All right, and then the other part is right here. Make sure I get all that together. Okay. So when I flip it, it's going to be the whole entire yoke piece. You'll see in just a minute. So when I serge, I'm making sure I'm catching the pleats that I based in both layers of the yoke, to the inner and outer yoke. Looking good. Yeah, it's actually thanks. It's actually going pretty smooth. Of course, I did not follow the pattern. I'm kind of doing my own thing. So I'm using a stretch knit, so I don't plan on using zippers. I two-toned the skirt as opposed to doing a solid skirt. Okay, so here I'm just pulling up to make sure I catch the pleats. I'm taking my time pulling the threads out so the machine will cut them off. Let's see. sure my seams match up. And this one, put it down. Take the pins out so the blade doesn't break the pin. And I'm accident prone, something always happens. Okay, so I went all the way around without stretching the fabric. Okay. And so I pulled the front up, and I'll reach in, and I'm gonna grab the back. My two spots where I marked the back, pull those out. This is how it's looking so far. Of course, I can go and press these as well, which I don't have an iron set up. No iron set up, but it's looking good. Okay, so sip of coffee. Now this part I was trying to decide if I want to put elastic in here or not and make elastic waist, because this is pretty stretchy. So the rule is whatever this is, I want to do like 2 inches smaller. This is my ghetto fud pattern. Because of course I can't just follow a pattern. So all I did was cut these. These are 4-inch wide. And I'm basically going to do the same thing I did here. Cut these, but I'm also going to cut them down. So I made these a little too long. So this waist is like 11 right now. So this is my 11 mark. So it's showing that I have like an inch too big. But also, it's going to be my band. So I want this to be a bit smaller than 11. So I'm going to cut 2 more inches off. I say 2 because you're cutting an inch from the front and an inch from the back. Now I'm going to sew this, and I'm just going to do the band pieces. Let's see. There's one. There's 2. Take it and fold it in half. To reduce bulk, I normally do like the seam, one going one way and one going the other. And pin it right in the middle. And on the other side. Okay. Now, since this is a waistband, we definitely want to put the markings in fourths. So you want this band to be as even as possible. This band we're actually going to stretch around as we serge it. Let's see. Okay. So this is going to be side seams and not front and back. When I do this, I'm going to make sure I grab both layers of my yoke. Okay, so then we're going to literally go like this, side seams together. And pin. And I'm placing the band on the outside of the skirt when I do this. Really important that you catch all those layers. Now here, oops, let me go back. Moving too fast. So here I have the back, middle, let's see. The marked side seams on this skirt. Not the side seams, the center front and center back, sorry. Just gonna mark it with a pin. And then when I do my waistband, I can match it up. And this is the center back. Okay. So now take these, because since I cut inches off, I'm gonna have to stretch this band to get it to match up. And when you stretch and do bands, whether it's around legs, waist, you want to make sure they're nice and even all the way around. Slide this one over. Okay, so normally when I start sewing like right before a bunch of seams. So I have 4 layers I'm going to catch. The band that's on the fold, and then the 2 pieces of yoke. Should have made this more like a tutorial, but I wasn't 100 on how it was going to come out. I'm just make sure everything's matched up, and I'm grabbing where that first pin is marking, and I'm slightly stretching my band. And when I say slightly, it's just so the fabrics all match up. Sure you get every layer, because then there'll be a hole. Okay, so I'm at a side seam. I'm going to go ahead and pull that pin out. Okay, so here's where I need to make a decision if I'm going to put elastic in here or not. So all I did is I left the opening so I can add elastic. So that is it. And I'm probably going to add elastic. Maybe, well, I don't know. That kind of looks like a size 2 waist. Okay, so that's the back. Here's the front. This is my hole for adding elastic. I'm going to see if I have some. I just want to add some just so it doesn't fall off the baby. This is how it is looking so far. I know these, I'm going to trim the edges. These tails, let me see all the tails from the serger? I'm going to trim that off. The elastic I have, I'm going to use a wide elastic. Let me see if I have a piece in here. I may. Or I may not. I should have brought the elastic in here before I started. Actually, let me find some, guys. Okay. I always check my elastic. Let's see. This piece is going to be exactly what I need. All right, so before I do that, I'm going to clip my threads. I say it's just what I need because it's wide enough. Most people leave the skirt's raw edges at the bottom. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use my cover stitch machine probably tomorrow and give it a hem when I also do the shirt. So let's see. I'm cutting out all these little serge edges because they're going to drive me crazy hanging from piecing the fabric together. Let's see. And then also I'm going to add a design, most likely to this skirt, possibly. We'll see. Looking better. All right, now that, let me get these pins out of here. And don't laugh, I forgot about the pin in the inside right here. So I'm going to try to get that pin out. I'm just going between the yoke to pull it out since I forgot about it. Let's see, there it goes. I remember to check it. I almost got it. I got it, but it's hooked on something. Got it. Okay. So let's mark the back again. Just gonna put 2 pins, which I didn't bring my size tags in here. I will add a tag to this when I'm done as well. Okay. So that's how it's looking. Now I have elastic. How I'm going to measure is, I know this is like 9. And I'm making, let me cut this open. I had to use this for something else at some point. Let me find this edge. Okay, so I know typically when I do waist, a size 24 is about 13. So I'm gonna do about size 14 and go a little bit bigger. We'll go 14 and a half for the waist. Okay. I'm just gonna use a safety pin. I don't know where my little long snaky tool thingamajig is. I was like, apparently I don't know where safety pins are either, but I found them. Okay. Since we're in the cheer season, I kind of want to I want to do a matching cheer bow because I think it would be super cute. So I'm gonna fold over my band and get it out the way, and then here put these threads back where I left the opening. Go ahead and work this all the way in. Wow, I haven't even been live for an hour. That's crazy. Like 45 minutes. That is not in between my, it's in between my band and my yoke, not in between the band. There we go. Seems like I sew faster than making cards. That's for sure. Okay. But yeah, what I'll do later is turn it inside out and use a pressing cloth because it's 100% polyester, and I'll press the pleats properly and it'll help everything lay flat. Around and around. Watch out for the pins. In my way. It's kind of in my way. Okay. A bow to match would be so cute, right? And she didn't even ask for one, but I'm pretty sure I have like the scraps and stuff to make it. Plus, that's free advertisement. So I think it'll be cute. I'll probably do cut the stuff to match the bow the same time I do the logo that I'm gonna put on here. Okay. So now I am going to just hold that. I'm going to take this and plug it up again. Plug it up again. Oops. I keep forgetting it's like right there and then I keep bumping it. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. If I stop moving all that over and I move this over, I'll be okay. Alright, so I don't care about the thread color, but I am going to use a zigzag stitch, and I'm going to put the ends of this elastic together. You try not to beat up the camera anymore. Keep forgetting it's like right there. Also, like this ravelly stuff going on, I know it's going to be the inside, and once I stitch it won't do it, but it's going to drive me crazy. So I'm going to light it up so I don't have to worry about it. And I pulled the thread out from the thread machine. Let's see. just going to do a zigzag across the band. Wrong machine. Oops, or not. I was stuck on something. Let's try again. Well, like my hands are all in the way, but I'm just threading the needle. Okay. I'm going back and forth because I do not want it to pop loose for no reason at all. And I'm just going to cut this, threads off, pull it and pop it in. Okay, that looks really good. I'm really happy with it. And now I have to close up the little opening that I left. So next I am going to, I'm trying to think if I want to go ahead and do the heat pressing on the shirt first, the HTV, or if I want to go ahead and start sewing the shirt. And then I slide over the machine. Okay, so I slide you guys back. That's what I'm trying to decide. I know that putting the HTV on a flat surface would be like better, but I kind of want to go ahead and sew now, and I don't have anything cut out. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna start sewing it and then I can just finish it tomorrow. All right, so I'm going back and I'm just serging where I left my opening between the yoke and the band. I'm just sewing that close where I put the elastic through. Or not, because I'm pressing the wrong foot pedal. All right. Okay. So that's that. Alright, so that's literally the skirt. All I have to do to this skirt is add the size tag, and then some pressing, and then I'm gonna go ahead and all I'm gonna do is do a cover stitch hem. But my cover stitch machine is located in my she shed. There's like a piece of thread between the layers. Wonder, I don't think I can get it out, but that's okay. It's like one of the little fuzzies. All right, this is adorable. Ignore the pressing and the unfinished edge. All right, so let's throw this side. I'm gonna grab, move all this stuff in the way. So I'm gonna grab the pieces for the shirt that I've already cut out. What I can do is add the sleeves and leave it open to press the design on it. Let's see, where is, get my sleeve part. And I have, oh, I could start on those too, because I forgot about the bottoms. Okay. start on those. Okay, so that this is going to be for my binding piece that goes around the neck and around the neck. I don't not doing the armholes because I have sleeves. And then I forgot I have the bottoms I can do, which I'm doing a lining in the bottoms. I just did white out of the same fabric for the bottom part. Where's my finger? All right, let me get, I have all these pins thrown everywhere. That's such a bad example. Very bad example. So let me put these pins in a case. Let's see. Okay, so with this, like what? That's the back. These are the sleeves. All right, with this shirt, what I'm going to do, what I've decided to do is this. So I literally cut it and it's at a slant angle. So what I am going to possibly do is I'm going to take it, the orange is still behind it. I'm going to take it and just flip it down. And then when I flip it up, it should match. Make sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark it. Should use Taylor chalk, which would be smart. All right, so I'm going to mark where I'm going to put it at. So when I flip it, I can line it back up. Okay. I'm going to flip it down and put it on that line exactly. But you can't see the white chalk line, I'm sure. We'll go ahead and pin it. Just, yeah, I'm pinning it this way because I'm going to show you when I flip it back up. I don't know why sewing and crafting makes me hungry. It feels like I just ate. Okay, so when I flip it back up, that is what it's going to look like. But I'm going to cut away the orange, so the orange won't be there. Let me go ahead and cut the orange. And I'm going a little bit above where I chopped it at to add some seam allowance. And then this piece I will not be needing. All right. So now, I'm weird. I hardly use pens. I use them, but I don't. Okay. I'm going to line these up. And it's okay if it's slightly over where it started. And making sure not to stretch the fabric. Scissors on my machine. Okay. So then that is what it looks like now. and this is the front. So now I can do, I'm going to take the back and I'm going to serge at the shoulder seams. There again, throwing pins everywhere because you know I'm great. I'm great at that. All right. I'm just matching them up. And I'm going to sew right across both sides. There's one side, go to this side, and do the same thing. You're working with print, you want to make sure you're doing this with your right sides together. Okay, a musical machine. All right, so I did my shoulders. That's how we're looking. It's the back. Flip it over. And there we go. Now I'm not going to go and, because my design has a word that's going across and a strip, I'm going to add those later before closing up my side seams, but I can go ahead and add my sleeves. And also, like, I'll finish it off. I'll finish the sleeves off and finish the hem off with the cover stitch machine. Okay, so my sleeves right here. This is the back. What I do is semi-find the middle and then flip this way. And if it helps, you can pin. And what I do to make sure mine matches up is I start pinning one way and then I'll skip and go to the back part and start pinning. So my sleeves come out even. Oops. See how like I have it matching here and here, but then there's this gap. So I'll make sure I can follow the curve pretty good. And up here. Okay. So I'm going to start, and then I know that I have, where's the center of this? I have some room. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. No. Which I can do that. I can add a pleat here. Let's see if I like the way that looks. Probably not. Okay. Let me see something real quick. Where are you? Oh, okay. Let's see what they did. They kind of gathered it. So what I'm gonna do is start in one part, and then I'm going to politely do the whole, I'm pulling on the armhole, but then pushing the fabric underneath. So it's doing like a slight. Should may not work. I should have just gathered it ahead of time. Let me see. Oh, it's working. Okay. So yeah, like I have a slight gather in the arm sleeve. There we go. So that is like perfect. All right, do the same thing to the other side. It goes this way and open it up. Grab the sleeve. And then do the same thing where I pin the start point and the back. I mean the start point and the finish point. Alright, so I pin this one. Almost did. Okay, and then I'm going to come on this end of the sleeve and pin it as well. Alright, and see I switched my icons for my videos. See it says Tina B, which means it's going to be sewing or embroidery or something involved. And if it's A and B, then it would be card making or that paper crafting. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put the sleeve of the bottom part of the machine so it's easier for me to create the gathers that I want to. Yeah, that's fine. Trying to see if the seam needed to go a certain way. Which I think you're going towards the front, so I'll do the same thing on this side. That one towards the front. almost there. Alright, I want to make sure they're about the same. You guys are like, what am I holding up? But yep, they are about the same. So that works. Now, I don't want to close this up because again, I want to go ahead and add my vinyl and everything. So I'm not going to sew the side seams. But when I do that, I'm going to go ahead and do the also the sleeve all the way down the side seam. 640. All right, so I'm going to set this aside. That's going to be on my list. But you can see my sleeves will add up. So basically I'll start here and serge down. And the same with the other side. So that's my top. The top and the skirt. And then the panties, I don't have the elastic. Or I do. That's a lie. I do have elastic. Alright. Just kidding. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew the side seams on this and on the other one. And then I'm going to put them together. Slinging pins. Other one. And I cut this all and it was like one piece. So I did that with that, and I'm gonna do the same with the orange. Just see it goes this way. The same thing this side. Okay, and with these, I'm going to turn the orange right side. The white one's going to remain the wrong way. So I'm putting our wrong sides together. Like my allergies are trying to act up. Okay. Just matching the side seams. So it's definitely going to be a part 2 to this video, which I will probably most likely do this tomorrow. After I get the design cut and everything, I will this design cut, pressed, and the shirt ready to finish up. Let's see. Make sure I get them together in the bottom as well. Make sure I have the seams going the same way as the top. But yeah, after I get the designs together for the shirt and press those, then I'll be ready to close it up, and then we can do cover stitch. You guys can see me use my cover stitch machine. And this way. Okay. Take and the bottoms. And pin here. I'm just trying, at this point, trying to keep the layers together. And it should be over a little bit. Okay. Let me do this one the same way. All right, make sure that lays nice and flat. Now, where are you? Elastic. So I'm going to use a 1/4 inch elastic for this. Let me see if I can find. I had it somewhere, the link that I need to cut these to. Found it. Okay. So this is, cut the waist first. And then we'll cut the leg elastic. And then so leg elastic is always shorter than the waist. Okay. So some tie it, I don't tie it. I'm gonna make these, I'm gonna tack it with the sewing machine. So I can have it in a continuous circle. Just plugging it in. My musical machines, don't mind me. Okay. So I'm gonna change my zigzag to make it more narrow. And all I'm gonna do is overlap them. And what, these two are the same. Okay, so these two are the legs, this one's the waist. Wrong foot pedal. Just kidding, because I had it in straight stitch. Try it again. Okay, I just need it good enough to stay for when I go around the loop and sew it. Cut these sides. Okay, so that one's the waist. I'm gonna do the same thing to the legs. Yes, I have black thread at the bobbin and white thread at the top because earlier I ran out of white in my bobbin, and since I'm just only using this for internal stuff, it really doesn't matter the color of thread. Okay, so I tack that one. So my stitch width is at a 2.0 if anybody's wondering. That's what I stitch my 1/4 inch elastic with. And do the same thing, cross over. Okay, that's good, and it should hold for me long enough for me to do what I need to do. Okay. Too bad YouTube doesn't let us play background music. That would be cool. All right. So So the legs, and I'm gonna start with the waist. And all I'm really doing is I'm gonna mark this in 2 spots. I feel like 2 spots is adequate. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and do 3. Wait, that's the waist, yeah. I'm gonna do 3 spots because the where I stitched it at can count as 1 spot. Just want to make sure it's not twisted. Okay. So now here, I'm going to take this, match it up. Where I combined my elastic, that's going to be my center back. I'll find the center back of this and pin it. The other one is going to be the center front. My arm all in the way. There we go. So I'm going to start stitching where my center back is. And I'm going to serge this all the way around. Make sure everything is lined up. And it's okay if you trim off some fabric, but do not cut your elastic in this process. Which you could, let me see, you could just go and disengage the knife on your serger. Okay, so I'm going to stretch my elastic to that one point where the other pin meets the other one. Serger, okay. And I'm serging, making sure I'm catching the lining and the outer orange fabric. Let me stop and remove my pins. And then I'm going to stretch it to the next point that I've marked, the next quarter mark. Okay. Take the pin out. Again, stretch to the quarter mark. And take that pin out. Again, sure. Scissors. So that's that. And see, when I do my cover stitch, I will just bend it down and top stitch all the way around it. So I'm going to do the other legs. I mean, the other legs. The other 2 leg holes I have here. And then that way I'm all prepped adjusted for the other machine. Let's see. So this one I'm going to do, it's shorter, so I'm only going to mark it in 2 places instead of 1, which of course is going to be the side seam. And I thought for sure it would have stormed by now. And then the bottom, which is going to be for the crotches. I can get it. Up. And take that pin, mark that. I'm going to do 1 leg hole at a time. And I'll stab myself with the other pin. Starting right where I marked it at. Oops, it slipped. Let's reline it up. Okay. Once I get it going, there we go. And then turn it. All right, so that's 1 leg. And then the same thing, I'll cover stitch that. Let's pin the other leg. And that is about where the center mark is. Pin one down here. Okay. Since I started at that side seam, I'm gonna do the same thing. I start at this side seam at the top. Make sure I have everything lined up, all the extra fabric out the way. Is my arm in the way? Possibly. Okay. And then I reached that halfway mark. Now I'm just going to stretch it the rest of the way. Make sure my lining is matched up. There we go. So now I have it all serged. Okay, so this is going to be my stopping point for today because I need to pull out my cover stitch machine. So I'll do the cover stitch around the leg holes and the waist. Which basically, like if you don't have a cover stitch machine at this point, you could just use a double needle and do it. I'll use cover stitch. And then the same thing, the shirt, I'm going to go ahead and add the design on it that I'm going to put before I enclose the side seams, just because when I use my heat press, I want to be able to press the design completely flat without there being any bumps. That's kind of like the pro to actually like putting your own stuff together, because since you already have the seams open, you can go ahead and add whatever you want to add to it. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll cover stitch him the sleeves and the bottom. And then with the skirt, I'm going to take my time, press these pleats, and I'm also going to finish off the edge with the cover stitch and do the hem. So where are we at? Like an hour and 33 minutes. Not bad for sewing. So tomorrow I will finish this guy up. It's going to be super cute. It's going to be little bloomers to go underneath it. This is going to be for the neckband. So I have that piece ready to go. But it is coming along. It is super cute. I can't wait to finish it. Got a lot done in a little bit of time. So thank you guys for watching and tuning in. I know I sporadically came live. I'll try to schedule and plan the live for tomorrow so you guys can finish and see part 2. If you like this video, please go down and give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed. And thank you. Happy sewing. Bye.